Be charged criminally.
Can I just interrupt for a moment? I'm fortunate to be joined right now live by Congressman Cummings, who represents Maryland. Congressman, thank you for taking the time to speak with us and give us your reaction to this. I know that you have said that this is justice in any way it comes down, but I want to get your personal feeling about today.
Well, you know, this is a system that we have in the United States, and clearly the state's attorney looked at this case. Freddie Gray, somebody who literally lived and died in my neighborhood, perished while in the custody of police. I mean, injuries as a result of while he was in custody of police. And so somebody had to be held responsible. And I think basically the state's attorney, who I have a tremendous amount of respect for, made a judgment call and brought charges in this case. But this is the way the justice system works. And so in the first trial with Officer Porter, there was a hung jury. And here, the judge, Judge Barry Williams, who I've known for over 20 years, a very fair judge and runs a strict courtroom and brilliant young man, made a decision. And I think that when people look at this, they have to say that we have to trust the system that we have. In many of these cases, charges are never brought. There is no trial. So again, this is the way justice rolls.
So, and that is often repeated in courtrooms, that justice doesn't always go your way. It doesn't mean justice isn't afforded. It doesn't. But I think the bigger question would be that there are many people in Baltimore, people you represent, who would say, here we go again, another white guy gets off. But how do you get your message that this judge, Judge Barry Williams, an African-American judge, is a remarkable jurist and would have given the utmost attention to this case, and that maybe there isn't a race bias perhaps in this particular, to save the city from going through what it went through before?
Yeah, well, I said it on Friday, and I asked people to respect the decision, whatever it might be. And I would tell them that Judge Williams is a man who served in the Justice Department in the Civil Rights Division. So he is very sensitive to these issues. And again, a man who is a brilliant jurist and a very fair jurist. I think there's anybody who practiced law in the Baltimore area, as I did for 20 years, will tell you the same thing. So he had to look at the facts and apply the law. And when he looked at the facts and applied the law, he came to these conclusions. Now, there are always going to be people who are not going to be satisfied with the decision. But keep in mind, we also have 5 more trials to go. And so I have not read his opinion today, but I do know that he has looked at this case carefully and has made no conclusions on the case that's still coming up. And again, all these cases right now are scheduled to come in his court. Now, others may not choose to have a judge try the case. They may choose to have a jury. But the fact is that, again, this is the system that we have. Is it a perfect system? No. But it's the best that we have.
And it's among the best in the world, without question. But
that's about what I was about to say.
You just brought up the best point there, and that is that the others who still have yet to be tried may elect a bench trial, still have the right to a jury of their peers. But with this decision, and then with the prior mistrial, which was a hung jury, is there any way that it could be extraordinarily difficult to get a jury who isn't somewhat poisoned by the events that have preceded the next trial? Do you feel confident at this point that unless the next of the accused pick a bench trial, they might not be able to find people who can make a decision and be unbiased about it, given what they've seen so far?
Well, having practiced law for many years and a lot of trials, I can tell you, I think they can find those jurors, and I think they will make a fair decision. Just as there was a hung jury before where people were actually divided about how they felt in the previous trial with Officer Porter. Again, I think people have their own opinions. They bring their own biases, no matter what they bring them. But hopefully they're able to sit down in that jury room after listening to all the evidence and listening to the jury instructions and come up with a fair verdict. And so I have full confidence that that will take place.
Congressman, it's always a pleasure, and I appreciate you taking the time, especially so quickly, to join us on this extraordinarily important topic and event. Thank you.
Thank you.
And straight ahead.